Hello, it's me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. Welcome to this week's transits. Today, sorry, I'm scooting this up closer. Today we are going to talk about the solar eclipse, and we're going to talk about Mars entering Scorpio. We're going to talk about the weekly transits as well, but those are the two biggest things that we have this week. What else? Before I get started, I want to remind you that I have my podcast here. Now, this week, this is not the podcast, but I'm telling you about my podcast that I have. It's about current events. And of course, the big event that happened Friday is this Hamas and Israel. I was totally ignorant to their relationships in Israel as a whole and the Palestinians. And now I am not. Okay. And I don't mean to laugh. It's very serious. I'm laughing at the fact that I'm ignorant to world events, which I shouldn't be. And it makes me really want to learn more, not just on that situation, but the world as a whole and America's influence and relationships with it. Anyway, but back to my podcast, what I was going to say is in this podcast, I will go deep and attach it to astrology and tarot. So go ahead and look out for that episode. There is previous episodes on a lot of things. Now, we'll get into that. But before we really get into the nuts and crannies of everything, I just want to tell you I have everything Libra. I discuss Libra energy. I discuss Libra for the collective as a Libra season and also Libra people. So if you want to know more about that. Also, I have a tarot reading that I did. This is live, okay? This video I'm recording live. It is pre-recorded, but it is no edits and it's live as I'm doing it. But no, what I'm saying is that this video I did here on Pick a Card is just cut off on when I go to the next reading. So go ahead. It's something new and different that I did because I wanted to hurry up and get the October reading out. So if you're into tarot, yes. And also if you're into tarot, I have a pick a card for eclipse season. This is for any eclipse season. And yeah, and then I did a Patreon reading just for this particular eclipse. So go ahead and join that if you want to get into that. Okay, so now let me talk about currently what we have going on. And I'm going to talk about a little bit something of what I would talk about in my podcast. And that is what I discussed last week. And that is Mars in the sign of Libra. And it was squaring. It's still squaring. Actually, let me see. I'm looking at my chart here. Let me go to today's date as I'm filming this, which you will see this today. I usually film this earlier, a few days earlier, but I'm filming this on the day that this is going to be released. So today it's October 9th, and I'm seeing if, Mars is still squaring Pluto. So it's still intense there. But basically for people who are like, what are you talking about? Okay, so I discussed this in the last video, last week's transits, and it's so interesting because, whether you believe in psychics or not, or predictions, you don't have to really predict. It's almost like, I feel like if you believe in a weatherman, how can you not believe in astrology? It is the same difference. You are studying science and how it connects to people. And a lot of people don't think this is science, but this astrology and astronomy is hand in hand. Anyway, that's a different subject. But Mars in the sign of Libra squaring Pluto, and Pluto's retrograding, and Pluto's in the sign Capricorn. This was already discussed. This war that it's currently happening, this strike that happened, and it's all about power struggles, conflicts, and who is the authority here? Because Capricorn is all about governments and boundaries and structure. And then here we're talking about this border, very Capricorn energy, and it's about violence and anger, right? A lot of physical energy and power struggles and who's going to win here. And that is what you get with that aspect in a nutshell. So that was discussed last week. So if you missed the weekly transits report. You do miss that. And that is why it's also imperative for us to know about the collective, not just the individual. That's why it's not better. That's why it's best to hear the overall collective energy, because like if you know the weather, it's going to rain, how does it affect you individually? So then you start to look at, okay, is it colder where I am? Are there more winds where I am, where I'm located? How the streets, how the environments. I'm sorry about that. Like I said, I am recording this live. So then it pertains more to you, but the weather affects everyone collectively. So like, if I am in Israel, am I at that music festival, or am I the one in Hamas attacking people? It's the energy as a whole, but then it is how you are individually. So that's what we have with that. And that was last week, but the energy is still strong. It is still lingering. So just so you know. Now, and also too, I want you to understand aspects and transits when it comes to astrology. It doesn't just come like right here. So it's not like when I do give a time for certain aspects, right? If I say it happens at 9:55, it doesn't mean that it happens at 9:55. It doesn't mean that you will fall in love and meet someone at 9:55. What it means that it eases into it, okay? Just like the weather, the cloud doesn't just at 9:55 right here, it eases into it. And some of us feel it differently than others. And that all depends on our natal chart and the zodiac signs and aspects, okay? So anyway, other than that, currently we have, but yes, go ahead and check out my podcast. I am going to go deep involved in that. I've already been doing a lot of research on that because I have to be educated on the relationships of that. And then too, you're dealing with Libra season, and we're also dealing with the eclipse coming up. Anyway, so currently we have Uranus, Jupiter, Neptune, Pluto, and Saturn. They're all currently retrograding, and that's a lot for us. Okay, so some people believe that it's not as strong as an effect because they're not personal planets. However, you see what that Pluto retrograding in the sign of Capricorn, what that is doing. So Uranus retrograding Uranus is about innovation, change, and rebellion. And when it's retrograding, it's about slowing down in those departments, slowing down with are really looking at innovations in a different way, and slowing down on the rebellion, or the rebellion is personal, okay? And remember, we have that Uranus doing that too. Jupiter is in retrograding, and that's about expansion and growth. And whenever you have that retrograding, it's about looking at being cautious and with the optimism and looking inward optimistically, and being cautious of our collective goals. Okay. Neptune retrograding. Neptune is about our dreams and illusions and spirituality. And when it's retrograding, there's a greater focus on discernment, reality versus illusions. Saturn retrograding. And I didn't put Pluto on here because we'll discuss Pluto, because Pluto goes direct. So we'll discuss that a little bit later. But Saturn retrograding, Saturn, the planet, is about discipline. It's about responsibility and structure. And when you have that Saturn going retrograde, then it's about long-term goals and commitments and responsibilities. Okay. And really looking at that. And I also want to say that Pluto squaring at Mars, Pluto is about power too. So that's just me going back. I didn't say that. I don't know if I mentioned that. Mars is always about war. Pluto is about power. Okay. Now, and it's a transformation. Things are going to change and shift with that one. Now, currently we are in Libra season. So during Libra season, it's the focus of relationships, hence the current event that is happening. Also, it's about balance, harmony, communication, socializing, justice. What is fair? Charm and grace. Then on the negative side, there's indecision, there's insecurity. Aesthetics is like an insecurity on your aesthetics, overemphasis on relationships, being passive, avoiding conflict, not setting boundaries. That's interesting. And people pleasing and superficiality, right? Venus into Virgo too last week. So there is the energy of having a critical eye, and practical in love, and practical with gift giving, and being modest, and a desire for order, attention to health, and higher standards in relationships. So now let's talk about some transits here. I am trying to do this in a way that, yes. Oh, no. Well, no, not that. There we go. I almost did good. I thought I was going to get it this time. I almost did good. Anyway, so these are our weekly transits. Go ahead and screenshot that. I'm in your screenshot. And yeah, I did put some times down. Did I put times on everything? Not on everything, but I did put some times down on most of the transits. So you can know if you feel that later on the next day. Sometimes you may not feel it that day. Okay. Yeah, so we'll get into the details of that. Right now, I want to talk about the moon, and I'm looking here at my notes. So if you see me looking to the side, it's because it's not that I'm trying to disrespect you guys. I'm just looking here on my notes and whatever. Okay. I was going to just TMI. Here I am. Here are my notes. Now, here are the dates of the moon. And the reason why I'm giving you the moon report, because so you can know emotionally how you're feeling, so you can check yourself emotionally. The moon, it moves really fast. Okay. And that's why you have the mood swings or moodiness. Yes. So you see it changes all these different days on the 9th to the 15th, and they go through the different signs. So if you're dealing with Leo, it's about maybe some drama and creativity, and you may be seeking some attention. Now, when it goes into Virgo, which is Virgo's earth sign, then you're very practical and analytical. And remember, we already have that Virgo and Venus in Virgo too. And we'll get into Venus in Virgo a little bit too, because that's going to affect, that's connected to the eclipse. But you may be focused. Now, whenever there's a moon in Virgo, for me, I love the energy. I'm all about work and health and routine, especially at home because I work from home. Now, moon in Libra, we get the sense of balance and harmony, and the double focus on Libra energy, and the collective discussions may revolve around compromising and finding a common ground, especially with your emotions. And moon in Scorpio, and that is water energy, and Scorpio energy is very intense. I find it to be very emotional, and it could be very transformative emotionally, right? And as a collective, it could be dealing with some type of healing and power struggles emotionally too. So that is what you have. I find that whenever a moon sign is in a water sign, there is some extra sensitivity. So just be aware of that. Yes. Okay. So now let's talk about let's get into our things. We're dealing with October 9th here. Now, October 9th, Venus is in the sign Virgo. Oh, look at that. Look at that. 0 degrees, just right on there for my little Virgo placements. Anyway, but refining relationships is what we have. It's going to oppose Saturn there. If you see that there, it's going to oppose Saturn. And this is all about representations in love and relationships and harmony, right? So Saturn is about structure and responsibility and limitation. So when you have them opposing each other, there could be some tensions in relationship, some conflicts, dealing with decisions regarding love and partnerships. There may be a need to balance freedom versus commitment, social burdens and responsibilities, because Venus is also about socializing. And then you have it in a sign of Virgo. So it makes me think of like maybe like work and organization, and then versus those responsibilities, feeling of loneliness and fear of reaching out, doubts about one's attractiveness can happen with this energy too. Let me just make sure. Yes, I'm just making sure you can see me. Okay, so now October, and that is about refining the relationships. I find that's the theme of that day. Now, October 10th. Let's go to October 10th. And actually, I want to start it. Oops. Oh, yeah. Okay. So October 10th. Okay, I wanted to start it on the Aries, but here we go. So October 10th, we have, well, yeah, this is around 6:10 p.m. So this is kind of good. So we have Pluto goes direct, and it happens at 6:10 p.m. And it goes direct in a sign of Capricorn, and Pluto is about psychological change and transformation and just a lot, girl. Okay. Sorry if you're a guy, but I'm just it's just very deep. But during Pluto retrogrades, there's deepening inner processing, and on a collective level, it can manifest a period of power struggles, which we've already discussed, and both on personal and global stage. It's a time for confronting and purging any hidden issues. So that is what we get on the 10th. And when it was retrograding, that's what we saw with this war. And I'm sorry if you're like, the war wasn't a big deal for me. It was. It woke me up. It changed a lot of things for me. And my heart goes out to any of the families involved on both sides, right? But now what does it mean when it goes direct? Pluto going direct. And Pluto here is right here on this 10th house here. And when it goes direct, it can bring issues of intense transformation and empowerment. And it's in that sign Capricorn. So that, again, anytime I think of Capricorn, I think of government and power structures are big corporations, people in uniform, father figures. So it's good. It's a time for hidden agendas. They're going to be revealed. Okay. Changing the establishment and the systems of the establishments, right? Keywords for Pluto: vanishing, kidnapping, ambushing. All this is going to be awoken. Betrayal, magic, black magic, antichrist, hell, Satan. All this is going to be like time to change, time to wake up. Sex, convicts, felonies. And this is dealing with the structures of it too, the boundaries of it, and the government of it. Okay. Any like government conspiracies, all that is during this. And Pluto is also representing death and rebirth, turning points, the subconscious, the untruths, and dictators. Okay. I did a podcast on Pluto going into Aquarius because that's going to happen. And when it goes into Aquarius, it enters Aquarius January 20th. I did a very detailed podcast on that. So look for that. And for the next 20 years, we're going to be looking at the shadow side of Aquarius energy. Okay. And let me just tell you what Aquarius is, because this is what you have to look for it in January. And Aquarius is about organizations and acquaintances. It's very social, and it's all about your friends. It's also about your hopes and dreams, your vision. It deals with automobiles and aviators and astronauts and electronics, telephones, airplanes, airports, scientists, radios, clubs, ankles, the circulation of the blood, astrology, and astrologers. Get ready for that. All you astrologers who are not real, or maybe the fact that they're saying that astrology is not real, get ready for that. Counselors is dealing with lakes, new teaching, psychology, senates, senators, House of Representatives, and Congress. And you have psychology with Aquarius and psychology with Pluto. So that would be a double whammy. So Pluto retrogrades back to Capricorn September 1st. So we're still going to feel a little bit of this government and these boundaries September 1st, but then it's going to go back to Aquarius. Okay. Now that same day, Chiron is now opposing the sun in Libra. Okay. And Chiron is known as the wounded healer. The sun is going to highlight areas where we feel vulnerable and we feel wounded. So the sun is going to bring the darkness out. Anytime the sun is involved, there is like, let's shine some light on these issues. So it can result some painful memories or some events you were trying to hide, but that you need to heal from. Some painful memories from your past or events. Good news that you can have a chance to clean out and revisit those pasts to clear it out. It's about honesty, having a clean slate, integrity. What else do we have? To achieve your personal goals for the greater understanding, working on forgiveness and letting go and moving forward with a lighter load. Makes me always think of Erykah Badu, Bag Lady. Okay, so now let's talk about October 11th here. Now I wanted to change my mic setup and I had to do that off camera. Anyway, so October 11th here. Let's look at that. Okay, so we have Mars entering Scorpio. So if you see that, where's my Mars? Look at that. Ooh, it hasn't entered yet there. So let's show you where it enters it. There it is, right there. So Mars at 9:04 p.m. You see the time here is 9:57, but at 9:04 p.m. is going to enter that Scorpio energy. We're going to go over the horoscopes and what that means for each person in their rising sign. So, excuse me, yes, okay. So what does that mean? Mars is, they say, the traditional ruler of Scorpio. I practice that Pluto is, but we definitely see some connectiveness there, right? Mars is assertive and action orientated, and it's about desire and assertiveness and our actions and sexuality, how we pursue things. Now, when it enters Scorpio, there's intensity and transformation, potent and very intense energy. You know, when you see Scorpios, they look very intense. Imagine all those Scorpio risings and Scorpio suns, just very intense energy. The determination also to have the hidden truth and desire to emotionally go deep. So when you have Mars entering Scorpio, you have some psychological insight, highly sensual and sexual energy. Mars and Scorpio can make you very magnetic and alluring to others. It could lead to passion, okay, and confronting some energies. Very determined, very tenacious, because Scorpio is very fixed, so it's not going to give up. Emotionally intense. There's power and control there. Scorpio is associated with power and control, and Mars there can trigger the desire to assert that power. Okay, investigative nature. Scorpios are the investigators of the zodiac, so they are going to discover the truth. Transformative energy you get with this, very resourcefulness. Mars in Scorpio is encouraging resourcefulness and the ability to work on limited resources to achieve goals. Okay, they're gonna get it done. Psychological resilience, you get this with this energy. You may develop greater psychological resilience with Mars and Scorpio because it's allowing you to confront and overcome any inner fears and limitations. Okay, so yeah, and we're going to go more deeper into that with the horoscopes. So yes, but October 13th, let's go there. Mars in Scorpio is going to trine Saturn in Pisces. That's very great energy there. Here we go. And it's focus, it's deliberate, qualities of hard work. Anything time you're dealing with trine, then you have the energy of you don't have to do much. It just comes to you. God's on your side. The universe has your back. So active restraint, and you're going to be patient, discipline, and endurance you get with this energy. And you could be building foundations, and any delays are likely to be on the positive side. So dealing with patience could be positive for you guys. Okay. For us, the collective. Okay. I want to scoot this mic up. Okay. So yeah, discipline and endurance are required for you to move on with any plans. This is ideal period to consolidate and complete things. So it's very positive because remember, Mars is everything I discussed about Mars and Scorpio. Now it's going to work with any type of boundaries, especially these hidden boundaries, especially Pisces is very spiritual. So it's going to work with these energies. And I like it. I mean, I'm excited about this. So on the 13th, if you want to stay focused, if you want to get something done, this is the energy to do it. Okay. Now on the 14th here is when we have this big kahuna, the solar eclipse. Okay. And here we have here at the bottom here. Now, whenever we have an eclipse, we have a node involved here. And the node that is involved here is the south node. Now, I remember when I first started astrology, I was like, but that's upside down. There's this axis here. So this is the north node when it goes down, and this is the south node when it goes up. And we have it also, if you see here, close to this Mercury. So Mercury is going to affect this as well. But when we have these two together, normally that is a new moon, right? And now we have it with this south node and it's parallel. That makes it a eclipse, right? A solar eclipse. And this is an annular solar eclipse, and it's going to be 21 degrees. And this one's not showing us. If we did it at 10:55 a.m., then you will see that. Actually, let me take you there. 10:55 a.m. 21 degrees is what you get. Okay, so 21 degrees is considering a Sagittarius degree. So it's about abundance, expansion, wisdom, higher learning, traveling, and exploring. So everything you're dealing with Sagittarius, look into that theme of that. Now, also, the element is air because we are talking about an Libra eclipse. And whenever you have a Libra air eclipse, it's going to influence the air. It's going to influence birds, bees, human communication, any type of transit, any type of transportation, electricity, hurricanes, tornadoes, winds, polluted air, airborne disease, radiation, wind energy, computer technology, postal systems, communication networks, and space discovery. Now, the weather I may not see as strong because Libra is kind of not as intense with air, but I'm just letting you know. Now, it's also a cardinal sign, right? And all the cardinal signs are Aries, Cancers, Libras, Capricorns, but Libra is a cardinal sign. So whenever we have a eclipse in a cardinal sign, it produces intense, speedy effects with quick conclusions because it's like, let's get this started. Eclipse in these signs produce results either immediately or within 30 to 90 days. Okay. So write down what happens the day of the eclipse and check what happens 90 days after. So let's talk about some random facts with the eclipse. Tradition holds that eclipse will most be potent if you can see it in that location. And where can you see the eclipse? You can see it in Oregon, Nevada, Utah, New Mexico, Texas, and where else do I have? Arizona. Yes, that's where you can see it. I thought you can see it in California. Anyway, if the eclipse makes no aspects within 3 degrees to any major planet or angle in your personal chart, then you may not be feeling anything. But if it does, go ahead and remember that's 21 degrees. So check for 17 to 24 degrees. Between the time frame 1 week before the eclipse and continuous to 90 days following after eclipse, you may be feeling something. There may be some change, okay? I do find that this eclipse, the energy started off early. So occasionally any eclipse will occur 7 to 14 days preceding an eclipse. Take the date of the eclipse, which is the 14th, and mark that date and go 90 days away. Usually within 1 week of that 90-day mark, you will see an event related to the original secret force field set up by the original eclipse date. So go ahead, like I said, mark your calendars, go 90 days after, check after the week of the 90 days, you'll see something. If nothing has occurred so far, you'll see it within those 90 days, right? Now, eclipse affects everyone equally. Semi-eclipse are weak and ineffective, going barely unnoticed. I'm sorry, I write down my notes. But if you are not feeling this, that could be normal because, like I said, either it's not in the location where you can see it, you don't have the degrees involved in it, or also, too, you don't have the zodiac signs, right, dealing with this. So it said that solar eclipse are stronger during lunar eclipse. That's just a random fact, so you can know. And if the eclipse occurs within your birthday, okay, if you are celebrating your birthday within a day or two, check yourself out medically. Okay, I'm not trying to be negative. I just, bringing some awareness into your life. Now, some things you can do. You can go with the flow of what the energy has, let it go. Okay, stay indoors, deep breathing, praying, take some time off, eat some high energy food, life force food. They call it like chi food. Go ahead and eat it. I want to hold the mic now because I don't like the mic setup. Actually, I'm trying, you guys. I need a bigger table. Okay. What else? Oh yeah, some life life force food, you know, like what is like a life force food? Honey, raw honey. Okay. So yes, water, being around water, taking a bath, even dunking yourself in water, all that, drinking a lot of water. Those are things you could do. Things I would avoid during any eclipse is trying to conceive a child, being intimate that night and conceiving a child. Any elective surgery that day, no. Getting married that day, I wouldn't suggest it. Beginning any hormone treatments, relocating, entering into the stock market, taking a homeopathic medicine for the first time, bottling water, sorry about that, or starting any type of fermentation. I wouldn't do that during this eclipse. Okay, so now we're dealing with the South Node. So anytime we're dealing with an eclipse during the South Node, it's about releasing, relaxing, escaping, spirituality, psychic, letting go in a good way. Okay, cleansing, resting. There could be some strange luck. Welcome returns from the past, second chances, paying off debts, spiritual awakening, accepting all things that will pass. There could be charity, relief, rest, a vacation from work, soul connection, looking inward, psychological understanding, spiritual awakening, sacrificing, inner awakening, spiritual liberations. Now, some negative things that can happen with South Node eclipse is weakening. You could be drained. There could be some depression, some exiting, some unfortunate situations that could happen, losing control, relapsing, unconsciousness, powerlessness, losing outer power, sorrow, withdrawn, fearful, paranoid, hopelessness, negative energy, leaking, and loss. Okay. Now, this eclipse is close to Mercury. And whenever you have a planet close to Mercury, it takes that power, right? That power is strong. So Mercury takes on a heightened importance with this particular event. So you could be dealing with news, service, communications, journalist. Actually, let me pull it here. You can be dealing with writers, companies, books, young people, literacy, birds, small dogs, insects, connections, language, postal systems, early childhood education. So remember that because it's connected to Mercury. So, and also to now look at Mercury is in a sign of Libra. And actually, I took it off, but now let me show you again. It's in a sign Libra and it's opposing. Mercury is going to be opposing this one, this North Node. Okay. So that could be representing, because Mercury is about communication, right? And the thought process, right? And when it's opposing that North Node, oops, no. Sorry, I'm pressing the wrong button. So there could be some tensions when it comes to communication and your relationships because we have that North Node in the sign of Aries, so the sign of self, okay, and the sign of leadership. So relationship and self, right? The future self and your goals in life. And there could be some tension with communication or not clarity when it comes to relationship or yourself or the harmony between yourself, your individual goals and desires, right? And striking a balance between yourself and effectively communicating with through yourself and relationships. Okay. Now it's also opposing this here, that Chiron there. And Chiron is also in Aries. So because Mercury represents our communication and our thought process, when it's opposing Chiron, Chiron is very the healer. So there could be some sensitive conversations happening because this is all about relationships and the self. Okay. So very sensitive conversations. You could be upset regarding your plans. It may be sparking some memories of when you were younger. Just be aware of that. And at the same time, it's about letting go. This is all about the past and letting go when we're dealing with the eclipse. Now, anytime we have an eclipse, energy, I have to say that what I've learned through astrology is that eclipse is here to bring you back to your path. You were meant to do something on during this lifetime, and now you're distracted. So the eclipse is here, like, hello, focus. You were distracted, so wake back up. Okay, so that's what we have now. Anytime there's a solar eclipse, like I said, there is a new moon, and it could be the new beginning of something. And when you have it in the sign of Libra, it could be affecting relationships, partnerships, finding balances in our lives, personal growth, especially how we relate to others, and finding our harmony and finding our balance within. Okay, a solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the earth and the sun, temporarily blocking the sun's light. Now, it's an annular eclipse, and it's characterized by a ring of sunlight still visible around the moon's edges. So it can symbolize finding balance, a new balance, integrating opposing forces or energies in our lives. Now, eclipses are known for transformative energy, very Pluto. Okay, so they can often bring about sudden or unexpected changes that push us out of our comfort zones, and it's about revealing the truth, the hidden truth. Okay, and both in our external circumstances and within ourselves, they encourage self-discovery and personal growth. On a spiritual level, the eclipse may encourage individuals to seek inner balance and alignment, especially when we have that Libra. And Libra is about fairness and justice, like I said earlier. So these eclipse may find some spiritual truths and commitment to our ethical and moral values. Now we have it with the connected with the South Node. So it's about releasing, letting go, relationships, transformation, justice and fairness, diplomacy and compromise, a new beginning, spiritual growth, reflection on self-examination. And let me give you some keywords here: arbitration, legislation. Well, everything we get with Libra, laws, contracts, important discussions, competition, elections could be happening, marriage, divorce, and gender relations, international contracts, war and peace. And we've already had that. So these are things I'm telling you, like, you could just Google this or you can read a book. This is not, I'm not saying this because it already happened. This was already in my notes. And national alliances are highlighted. So it's about ceasefire announcements, treaty violations, new treaties, outbreaks of war are typical. Effects are sudden and usually happens within 1 to 4 weeks, or even within a year, it may still hold. Team competition and settlements may be in the news. Remember, Mercury is involved here. That's why everyone's getting the information about what's going on. Now, social, race, class relations are also affected. And what else do we have? Gender equality issues could be enhanced. Libra emphasizes party oppositions, and their resolved are mediation. Now, all air eclipses have effects on the wind and birds, like I said earlier, but Libra is mild with this. So out of the three. Now, cautious if you are married. It could be rocky, so it's not the time to push it. Expect marital issues to come ahead. Contracts or alliances of all kinds may be unstable. Social or hormonal imbalances could be very unpredictable. Remember, Libra is about the scale, so it's all about something that's totally in balance here. So expect some surprise decisions. Now, Libra governs all balance, hormonal, glandular, okay, hormonal, glandular, salt, balance, locomotive, alkaline acid. Libra rules the kidneys and lower backs, lumbar region, and with venomous influence over the ovaries. And remember, I said if you had a birthday close to eclipse, look at these situations that may be affecting one of these things here. Also, brain chemistry, hormonal or blood sugar imbalances should look closely monitored. Libra impacts the adrenal glands as well due to the polarity with the opposite sign Aries. So go ahead and check all that out. Now, the signs that it may affect more than others: Libra eclipse reflect primarily upon the opposite sign. So Aries could be having some issues here. And secondarily, upon the two squaring signs, which are Cancers and Capricorns, this means that you may experience powerful effects in your areas of life governed by these signs as well. Also, check the ruling planet. Libra's ruling planet is Venus, and Venus is in a sign Virgo. So Virgos may be having some issues as well. And let me just give you some keywords of Virgo, because it's not just the people, it's also the energy. Okay, so animals, pets, domestic servants, administrators, secretaries, employment, working class, any type of service worker. That could be a good service worker or a bad service worker. Anyone who's giving service to you. So a military, Red Cross, relief worker, civil worker, prostitute, living life-saving services, public health, physicians, nurses, editors, healers. Okay, God bless our healers. Any tailors, file clerks, office workers, books, charts, because Virgo energy is all about the details. So we have the and refinements. We have charts, chemists, scientists, analytical critics, details, cleanliness, hygiene, disease, health, nutrition, produce, harvest. Wheat is really huge with Virgo energy. Also bees and bees keepers. So yes, alchemy, transmutation, dexterity, really good with hands, responsibility, modest, and criticism. So that is what we get for this solar eclipse. I tried to get as detailed as I can without boring you, and you still having the knowledge for the collective. And again, I do believe this is huge on why we are experiencing what we experienced in the news recently, because we are dealing with that Mercury, we are dealing with boundaries and relationships, and we are eclipsing something. So all that is to be said to have happened. Okay, so October 15th, let me get into the last transit of the week, and then we will go into the horoscopes. October 15th, the sun is going to conjunct that Mercury here, these two. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So October 15th, the sun is going to conjunct that Mercury in the sign Libra. So we can have some good news coming our way. You may be delighted by other people's good fortune, but it's more likely that you will be creating your own. You could be getting some ideas from young people too. Ideas and plans and decisions are going to be very easy flowing. It's very optimistic. Perhaps even positive mind, frame of mind, very confident. Like I said, you may get advice from someone younger than you. Enhanced communication skills. There's clarity whenever we have the sun and the moon touching. Time for negotiation, because we're dealing with this Libra energy, something with the law, something with fairness and balance. When we have Libra, everything that I mentioned dealing with Libra, aesthetics, balancing, relationships, harmony, law, justice, fairness, all that is going to be an aha moment for us as a collective and as an individual. Now, so next week, get ready for. We have the sun conjunct Mercury. It's going to be a Cazimi, okay? And then also we have Mercury is going to square Pluto. That would be somewhat intense, okay? Because we're dealing with Pluto. Anything dealing with Pluto is intense. And speaking of intense, we have Mercury that's going to enter Scorpio. That is also very intense. Yes, we're getting ready for Scorpio season at the end of next week too. So all that to look forward to. And now we're going to, before I get into the horoscopes, let me just say this. For all of the horoscopes, going into the horoscopes, this eclipse is about a power outstage, or a period when we struggle, when the power is not available. It's almost like a retrograde, okay? And when it's in that house, that power somehow is not available, okay? Celestial energy exits this life arena, meaning that the energy moving, or there isn't a release of energy in that house, the placement that the eclipse is on. Now, the South Node is connected to this, so that is also an energy of loss. And look at your natal chart and see where the sign is, Libra. See how that is connected to. Often this eclipse, like I said earlier, the eclipse, the releasing of and losing and not having that energy is often good for us. Okay. It could be useful for wishing to get something out that's been building up. Look for, like I said, Libra in that chart, because there could be some releasing there. So like if you have Libra in the third house, releasing of maybe something with your community or your siblings. Okay. So go ahead and look at your natal chart. There may also be a message of an exit or loss over any type of placements that occur near 2 or 3 degrees of that 21 degrees. So look at your other placements in your natal chart and look at anything that's dealing with the 21 degrees, 3 degrees off before and after. Okay. Which I think was 17, 24 degrees, and that should be affecting that as well. Okay. So let's get into the horoscopes. Okay. So we're going to start with my Aries placements. Welcome. And I'm also going to do tarot. And the deck that I have here is the African Tarot deck. I have to shuffle that. Ooh. Okay. So Aries, welcome. Hold on one second. I have to. Oh, it really annoys me that I'm not facing you or like in the middle. I have to get like over that. See, like this will make me happy. Maybe I should just hold. No, that's not gonna work. I need like to get a better mic. I'm working on that. Okay. And it probably doesn't affect you in any way. You probably don't mind. Let me know if you mind. Let me know your thoughts, actually, Aries. Okay. So now this eclipse is happening on your first house. So let me pull this up for you guys. Aries, first house. Here we go. And the eclipse is not happening in your first house. Sorry. It's happening in your seventh house. And if you see here, this is the seventh house for you guys. I'm hoping you can see it. Yes. Okay. So that eclipse in your seventh house is about partners and relationships. And so it's not just a Libra solar eclipse, it is in your seventh house. So everything that I discuss is definitely going to happen here. So it's going to be very dynamic for you guys, Aries. Okay. There's going to be upswings and downswings. You may be experiencing something with these things: marriage, divorce, legal matters, contracts, competition, agreements, alliances, enemies, opposition, major decisions, verdicts, mediation, partnerships, life affairs of the partner, opportunities, foreign residents, or something with others. Okay. And now you have that Pluto is going direct, and that's going direct in your seventh house. Pluto is going up. Here it is. Here, Pluto is going direct in its seventh house. So it's intense career changes and focus on personal empowerment in your professional life. There could be transformation with public image, your reputation and goals, and a drive to take charge in your career and ambition, especially with that Capricorn energy. Now, Mars is going in your eighth house. You see that right there. And that this is on the 14th. It went there in 0 degrees, right? And when Mars enters that eighth house, it is double Scorpio energy, very strong. It's all about transformation and intimacy for you guys. It's naturally placed there. So it's going to go really deep. It's going to really work for you. It's going to go deep on intimacy, shared resources, transformation, and healing. It's going to be key for you guys. It's going to intensify your desires, especially sexually. Okay. Intimacy, any shared resources, that's going to be intense for you. You may be more assertive. Especially when it comes to your finances or dealing with any kind of money that you owe, making decisions with any kind of shared assets. Like I said, sexual desires are going to be very announced. Power and control. You may be taking power and control over your relationships because we are still dealing with this Libra energy. As a collective, Scorpio is naturally curious and investigative. So you're going to be revealing some truths, looking at some secrets, dealing with your hidden fears, uncovering some secrets, solving some mysteries. Be cautious of potential conflicts with power struggle. Okay. Now we have that for you guys. I think it's amazing. Don't be scared. Be excited. Okay. Now let me pull some tarot for you guys. Ooh, something came out. We have the Ace of Swords and it's in reverse. So either there's some inner clarity or there is loss of clarity, right? Or you are not using the words to that you have. And I'm thinking, I don't see that you won't speak up. So I'm thinking there's going to be some inner clarity that comes out. Let me see what else we have. And this is the the Four of Pentacles. So there is some money holding here. Scorpio could be a little cheap, okay? So there is some saving or hoarding. I'm thinking this is like the power struggle too, like you're not speaking up or having some secrets. And it makes me think that Mars in the eighth house could be holding some secrets, like the way you're achieving things, you're not really saying it. But this is dealing with communication and logic. So I'm thinking there's lack of clarity when it comes to you holding on and could be a little selfish here. Okay. So be aware of that. I'm going to pull one more card. Actually, let's look at the bottom of the deck because the bottom of the deck will represent that Mars and Scorpio. And there's some action, there's some creativity sparking here. So there's going to be some drive, there's going to be some action and there's some spark drive to be creative, to really be active. But there's like loss of clarity or some inner secrets going on. But the start of lack of clarity, I'm sorry. Let me actually turn this off. And but you're holding on to something dear life when it comes to resources here. Okay. Let me know how this resonates with you guys. I'm very curious. I'm really seeing that Mars. Now I know that Pluto goes direct in that 10th house of career. So you could be like really holding on to your resources as far as like the career aspect. But there's something that you're holding on to. Let me know what you're holding on to. And that's because you can't see it clear. The clarity is not there. Anyway, let me know how this resonates. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading and see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, so let's go on to you, my sweet Taurus risings. And we have the eclipse happening in your sixth house here. And it's all about health and work. Work-related matters. It's going to be very potent. You might consider making a change in your daily routines, improving your overall well-being, or maybe exploring a new job or a new job opportunity. It's all about prioritizing the self-care and organizations. Now, what we have with this is that it's about work and health, of course, but work relationships, work alliances, diplomatic work, counseling, secret relationships, subordinate work partnerships, work with the spouse, work contracts, beauty work and beauty, because we're dealing with that Libra energy. Okay. Design work, self-beautification, clothes, fashion, hormonal imbalances, thyroid balances, skincare, hair care, kidneys, ovaries, work discussions, acid alkaline balances, ear, nose, throat, addiction issues, sugar issues, pleasures as affects as health, spouse mental health, employment decisions, and employment. That is what we have when we have a Libra eclipse in that sixth house there. Now we have the Mars and Scorpio in that seventh house, and it's all about relationships. They're going to be very passionate. It's going to be assertive. You may confront or there could be some Relationship dynamics. Okay. Be aware of power struggles or being jealous of your partner. There's increase in passion. There's assertiveness in relationships. Also, could be work relationships or open enemies, because that is a form of relationships too. If you're single, you're going to be into pursuing. You're not going to be scared of pursuing someone. If you're in a relationship, you may take action with your partner, like doing a collaborative project or working together, moving in together. That's going to really taking in the next step. Passion is heightened. Be aware of the conflict, okay, with the relationships. Mars can bring arguments and power struggles. You may find yourself particularly drawn physically attractive qualities or potential partners during this transit, like, ooh la la, can boost your libido. You can also be inspired to take actions with your partners. Like I said, collaborative. I said that already. You may find yourself dealing with legal issues related to your partnerships or agreements. Mars can also be competitive with partners. So during a professional or personal life. Now, also, you have Pluto goes direct in that ninth house here. Ooh, right there, touching that line there. Okay. So it's really big for you and your worldview, your philosophy on the stage, your appearance, okay, how you are with others and your reputation. All that is very transformative, and there are some boundaries there, but it's going direct. So there might be some philosophical growth here and some change in your belief and your philosophies and your worldview, potential shifts in higher education and travel. But this is a very important placement whenever we have it touching one of these, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's very important, and you probably have already experienced some image transformation and public on stage. Whatever's on stage has already been changing for you and been transformative. Okay. Let me know how that goes. Now, yes. Okay. Let me pull tarot for you guys, my Taurus. Pull tarot for my Taurus risings. Ooh, we have the Lovers. Yeah. Because we have that 7th house energy with Mars and Scorpio. So it's all about being in love and finding that balance. And yeah, you're going to be really super into your relationships, especially with this Sun and Libra energy. So yeah, focus on the love. Okay. And yeah, because then that will help you with your health and work. Okay. Now I will see you guys later. Bye. Okay. Geminis. Now, Gemini, we have, let me go to your charts here. Actually, I have to show you to go to it. Okay, Gemini. Now that eclipse is happening in your 5th house here, and it's all about creativity and romance. This is the house of Leo. You might feel inspired to pursue some artistic endeavors or and be more engaged in more playful activities. Creativity and passion is here, right? So let me give you some things that could be happening here. There could be love, romance, friendship, social events, dating, new contacts, theater, dance. Leo likes to be on a stage, so it's all about performance and art. Children's education, new interests, fun, play, outings, pets, creative ventures, friends, lovers, and so on. Also, being a mom, being a grandmother, being a parent, because we're dealing with children. So fertility lies in this energy as well for my Gemini risings. So also the end of a relationship. I can see that happening here. The end of a romance. Also, yes, this is what birth is what I see as well. So now you have that Mars in the 6th house right there in the sign of Scorpio, and intense work drive, attention to detail. Your daily routines, you may be more energetic. You might find fulfillment in helping coworkers, volunteering, or taking on projects. You're going to be very motivated and assertive, especially when it comes to your colleagues. Okay. Health and work life is what you get. You may tackle challenges at work and implement a rigorous fitness routine. Guard yourself against being too perfectionist. Now that Pluto goes direct in that 8th house, and you've already been feeling some major transformation when it comes to intimacy, shared resources, and some psychological growth. A need to confront and heal issues related to power and control and trust, a desire for personal enlightenment and shared experiences. Now, I have so many windows opened. Here we go. Now, here is your card. It is the Queen of Swords. And remember, I said that Mercury is attached to this eclipse. So it's all about being logical and communicating during this whole week with all this energy. Now, I'm trying to see, because Mercury's involved, I'm thinking that communication is going to be big for you. Thinking logically is going to be big for you. Also, this is a person who's not going off of emotions. They're being very logical. They are very clear in their communication. Also, they're dealing with compassion. It's like the mother of air. So the mother of communication, being very compassionate and nurturing through your communications. Okay. That is what you guys have to practice this week with this energy, with this eclipse, with this Mars and Scorpio. Okay. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. And you guys are Gemini, so you guys are all in there. Be yourselves. All right. See you guys next time. Bye. Okay. Cancer risings. Now, your eclipse, let me pull it up here. My beautiful Cancers. Hello, I am a Cancer sun. So I'm all here for this energy. And remember, I said the eclipse could be affecting you a little bit more. So be aware of that. Now, your eclipse is in the 4th house, and that is why it could be affecting you more. Okay. And here is your energy is all there, Cancer risings. And remember, the moon is your ruling planet. Hence why this could be affecting you a little bit more, because you have this energy touching that 4th house where your moon is the ruler of, and family dynamics and home life is going to be the focus. Consider improvements in the home, addressing any family issues. What do you feel safe? What is your security? That's all an essential theme with this eclipse. So you can have some negative or positive when it comes to your home business, your property, partnership, marriage, co-owning a home, partner's home, your family or parents, real estate contracts, home or property decisions, property law, because we're dealing with that Libra energy, spouse families, or your husband or wife's family, or your in-laws, home beautification, visitors, social events in the home, air conditioning. We're dealing with the air, windows, gas, wind, trees, birds, roommates, affairs, home agreements, the living room, co-op, spouse who stays at home, or potential moves. And I'm linking relationships because we're dealing with Libra, the air, because we're dealing with Libra, and the 4th house, the home. Okay. Now, Pluto goes direct in your 7th house here, and that's all about transformation. You've already been experiencing this in power dynamics within relationships, both personal and professional, a desire to create a deeper and more authentic connection, potential changes in approach to your partnership and commitment. Now that Mars is right after this 4th house energy, is in the 5th house, and it's about being creative. And the energy is very heightened because we are dealing with Scorpio. You may be very intense in love with the romance, really into social activities or entertainment. It's a great time to have fun and let loose. You may feel more competitive and you want to stand out. There's risk taking, and be careful of impulsive actions. Mars encourages you to be assertive, and there's confidence with this placement. So go ahead and take that. It's a major confidence boost. It's all about attention grabbing, and probably in a sexual way or an intense way, because you're dealing with Scorpio. You can also have some creative blocks and frustrations, because we are going to have some different aspects affecting this Mars. So be aware of that, and be aware of becoming overly possessive and controlling, especially in the romantic department. Okay. So let me pull some cards for you guys. Cancers. We have the 7 of Wands. So it's all about standing ground and setting some boundaries. And I wonder if this has got to do with the confidence here, because you have to persevere. That's very Scorpio energy. Also, when it comes to your family, stay strong and persevere. Do not give up. right? This person is, you see, almost like setting a gate. Very boundaries. Makes me think of that Pluto and Capricorn and relationships with the boundaries. So set your boundaries, persevere, and do not give up. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Leo risings, welcome to your weekly horoscopes. And we are talking about the eclipse. Now, the eclipse for you is in your third house, Leos, and that's all about communication and learning. And there will be emphasis on that, maybe conversations or a decision you have to make, maybe a new course of study, communicating with others, focus on enhancing your communication skills. Now, let me give you a few things that it could really hit, right? Siblings, close friends, one-on-one communication, speaking, the arts, consulting, mediation, because we're dealing with it in Libra, wisdom, reading, literature, self-development, vacation, short pleasure trips, especially with others, because you have that connection with Libra, travel partners, traveling with a partner, Libra, writing with someone if you have a co-author, computers, texting, phone calls, Facebook, social media, gossip, meetings and greetings, the neighbors, the neighborhood, daily associations, chatting, buddings, mental entertainment, music making, co-writing, pleasant journeys or ideas. Okay. The effects are mental and could be up and down with this placement. Now you have Pluto going direct, and it is in your sixth house here, and it's right there dealing with relationships. So you definitely have some transformation going on in your relationships, and now it's all about your daily routines and health and work. And I wonder what you experience in your intimate one-on-one relationships now that we have this Libra energy. Profound changes could happen in your physical and psychological health issues. A desire for personal empowerment and work environment is happening now that it's going direct. Now that Mars in Scorpio is right behind all that eclipse energy, and it's in the sign of Scorpio. So when it enters Scorpio, you may have the energy of focusing on home and your family and home improvement projects, family issues, whatever was hidden in that family. It's coming out now. Emotions run deep with this family energy. The house is also linked to our emotions and our inner world. So Mars can bring intense emotional experiences, our desire to address and confront deep-seated feelings. Okay. Like I said, home improvement, any matters dealing with real estate, property, renovations may come up with this transit. The fourth house is associated with your sense of security and stability. Mars can lead to actions to aim of creating a secure and stable environment. A good time to connect with your heritage or ancestry, based on home-based activities and resolving any past. Okay. Now, Leos, let's do your tarot. Ooh, we have setting some boundaries here. So persevering and setting some boundaries. Scorpio energy is not afraid of that. Now, also too, I'm thinking, what if it's something with the boundaries with this eclipse? Because we are dealing with your neighborhood and your community and siblings. So yeah, being not afraid to speak up. But also this is the energy of persevering, staying strong, right? Ooh, fighting the haters, right? Whatever the haters have to say, because you were on stage, now you're not on stage, you were celebrated. And when you have this celebration, then you get the haters. Okay. So yeah, this is actually the second time. This was actually pulled for, I think, cancers. But now that you have the haters, you have to stay strong, you have to persevere, you have to fight against them and set some boundaries. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Virgo risings. Let's get to what we see for you guys. For my Virgos. And we have this eclipse here in the second house, right? And that's all about finances and values. So let's talk about some things that could bring up, right? It could bring some upswings or downswings in one of the following areas or more. It could bring upswings or downswings to your income, salary, money, diet, nutrition, body culture, buying art. beautifying possessions, pleasant meals, food, gifts, spouses, money, jewelry, and flowers. Trust me, that list isn't long compared to everyone else's list. Also, you're dealing with that Mars in Scorpio, and that Mars in Scorpio is in that third house there. So when you have that in the third house, it's about communicating, and you're going to be more direct with your communication. You might dive deeply into some type of research because Mars and Scorpio wants to get even deeper. Assertive communication, very intense mental pursuits, verbal conflict because you have that power dynamic there, increased drive and learning, focus on writing and communication, short trips and movements could be happening, deep conversations, desire for the truth. Mars and Scorpio can drive the need to go deeper. Okay, I love it. Not the superficial energy. Potential to have conflict with siblings, especially if we're dealing with power. Okay. Try not to get physical with siblings with this energy. You may have a persuasive edge in communication style. And you can also probably influence people through your communication. You may want to initiate some new projects, ventures, or educational pursuits. Okay. Now, Pluto is going direct in your fifth house here, right in that sign of Capricorn. So intense creative endeavors and self-expression, deeply passionate romantic relationships and creative projects, transformation in matters of self-expression and pleasure in the sign of Capricorn. So really setting the boundaries or really being very serious about transforming and having fun. Okay. And setting some boundaries with that fun. Okay. So let me pull some tarot for you guys. And we have the world. So there's a culmination, there's an ending of something, right? Actually like a graduation of some sorts of something. And I'm wondering what it is. This is a major arcana. So there is a culmination happening, a culmination meaning the ending. Also, this is the world traveling. It's not really traveling for you. Let me see what, there's a drive here, a spark of a new drive, and it's going to bring some culminations. I'm going to pull up the bottom deck of the deck here because we're dealing with Mars and Scorpio, and we have the Page of Swords. So with all this, a culmination, I feel like there's going to be an end of some type of journey. And now God has given, especially with this eclipse, right? There's an end of a journey, and God has given you the passion, the motivation, the new spark for something new. And also too, when we have this page, a page energy is always earth energy in the sign of the sword. So like really getting to the details and taking your time and learning and studying something with communication. And we do have that Mars in the third house. With communication and logic. Okay, so that is what we'll have for your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Please let me know if this resonated. Yes, see you guys next time. Bye. Now, Libras, here we go. You guys are the big stars of the week. Okay, and Libra risings. Now, this eclipse is at the home base, and it's going to be very important for all my Libras. Okay, all my Libra risings, Libra suns, all of you guys. Okay, Libra moons too. So the first house is all about the self and identity. So there's going to be a power surge. Okay, either a release of somehow happening with yourself, life roles, and also to let me point out, this is the first house. Now I see that this moon is here, and it's going to enter Scorpio. So there's really some deep energy. You guys are going to be very emotional during this eclipse, especially when it gets into the 15th. And then Mars is there. Okay, so but there is something with your appearance, your approach, your body, your self-image, your satisfaction and performance as your spouse or your partner may come up in discussion or decisions, right? This is a season of important decisions about whatever has been pending. Remember, the scales is Libra, and it's leaning one way. So you may be feeling the urge at your time to have a new hairstyle, leave a relationship, have a new home, a career or partner. Marriage responds strongly with this energy. You may feel really drained too as the weeks follow with this eclipse. Just be aware of that. And this eclipse occurs during your birthday. Remember, check the medical things that I discussed earlier. Try to balance how much energy is given or taken from others. Okay. Now we have that Mars in Scorpio in your second house here. And yeah, it's all about your finances, and be aware of conflict over money, assertive of negotiations. Can heighten your desire for financial security and stability. Mars can also bring renewed focus on your values and priorities, can help you better manage your resources. It's all about money, okay, for you and your resources. Be cautious of being overly possessive too and fixated on material possessions. Okay. Also, too, any secrets that you are like overbuying too. Okay. So we have the Pluto is going direct in your fourth house here. So transformation with your home and family. Wow, you guys are really going through it this year. So yeah, there could be some seated healing emotionally with your family, with your mom, with something in your past, whatever the way you felt secure. In the sign of Capricorn. So really setting some boundaries and father figure energy, potential changes in your living situation and home. Okay. Let me pull some tarot cards for you guys, Libras, and see what we have here. Oh, did I not show? I don't even think I showed the chart. I apologize. But here is the eclipse happening here. This second house is in Mars, and the fourth house here is what you have here. So be aware of that. And remember, I said Mercury is close to all this. So be aware of your thinking and your clarity. Okay. Let me see what we have for my Libra risings and the tarot. We have the Empress. This is all about Venetian and giving birth and self-care. I want you guys, Libra, to really, Venus is your ruler planet. And this is the card representing Venus. So really go ahead and tap into everything Venetian. Really tap into having some self-care, giving birth to a creative idea, being very creative, focusing on beauty and aesthetics. It's positive, but stay balanced, Libra. Do not go too far. Okay. Let me pull up what's on the bottom of the deck. We have the Queen of Pentacles. So don't spend money doing this. This is self-care in a very practical way. Okay. We are dealing with Venus and Virgo. So be practical with the energy. Take your time also, but do practice self-care. Okay. And be very feminine with your energy. I don't care if you are a man. This is the energy of taking care of yourself inwardly as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Scorpio placements. Let's get into it. Let me pull up your chart and let me have a sip of water first. Okay, so Scorpio risings, your eclipse is happening in that 12th house. Or is Scorpio? No. Here we go. It's happening in that 12th house here. I know that moon is there, but it's happening in that 12th house, easing into there. It's all about spirituality and the subconscious. Now, you're going to have some sexual pleasure, some sleep, some dreams, spiritual work. All this is going to be either released or not working for you. Okay. Spiritual partnerships, relationship karma, spouse health, your spouse's work, secret relationships, infidelity issues, mediation, rest, results of excessive pleasures, psychological issues, loneliness, solitude, fear of being alone, psychotherapy, understanding others, intimate discussions, secrets, nightlife. Beware of bad habits that undo your damage to your health. This eclipse highlights unfinished business and indecision related to vows, marriage, and old relationship karmas, right? Also, you have that Mars in Scorpio in that first house. It's all about the first house is all about yourself and identity. So you're going to be very confident and very intense, strong willpower. You may come off very sexy, maybe dressing sexy. There's a personal transformation happening here. You're more magnetic and alluring to others. There's determination, there's assertiveness, there's competitiveness because we're dealing with Mars. Potential for conflict because we're dealing with Mars in the sign of Scorpio. So be aware of that power issue, self-discovery. It's all about transformation in that first house. So there could be some self-discovery. Your actions and desires may become more passionate and focused. Okay. Now, Pluto is in that third house of in the sign of Capricorn, and deep transformation in communication and learning experiences. Intense conversations are happening, setting some boundaries and getting to the bottom of things and reevaluating your thought patterns and your communicative style. Okay. Now let's pull your tarot for all my Scorpio rising, sun, moons. So Scorpio placements. Let's see what we have here. This card is sticking out to me. We have the Knight of Wands here. So this is all about, Knight is air energy. Okay. And we're dealing with wands. So Knight and fire. Okay. So it's moving fast. It's communicating its passions. It's thinking about all the passions, all the active. It's very external energy. Okay. Very strong in their convictions, very confident and communicating the confidence. Okay. So we do have that Mars and Scorpio in that first house. And that is what you're getting here. So there's a lot of discussion and thought of passion and strong convictions and being confident and being creative. All that happens with this. Let me look at the bottom of the deck because we're dealing with Scorpio and we're dealing with that 12th house. And yeah, so this is going to spark off. This eclipse is going to give you a creative drive. You're going to have the motivation, and spirituality is also dealing with the wands and fire signs too. So be ready for that. It's almost becoming a leader. Okay. Very confident energy. So yes. All right. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Sagittarius risings. Welcome. I am a Sagittarius rising. So I am here with you. Okay. Let me tell you what we have to experience here. So our eclipse is on the 11th house here. It's all about our social network and our aspirations. It's going to probably affect our social circles, our aspirations, involvement in groups and community. Now, let me tell you the positive and negatives that we can have here. It could be affecting your public life, cultural events, group alliances, fine arts, legislations, philanthropy, free time, our hopes and visions, friends, mentor relationships, coaches and coaching, board meetings, social life, clubs, older siblings, group mediation or arbitration, audiences, group discussions, public speaking, literature, humanity at large, popularity. Social life is impacted either positively or negatively. Okay. That is what you get. And the network of pursuing your hopes and dreams. Okay. Also, technology is huge with this placement. Now, Pluto goes direct in your second house, and transformation and boundaries could be happening with your finances. Okay. Someone could be setting some limits to your resources, or you could be understanding that there needs to be some limits and boundaries to your resources. You're reevaluating and transforming what you value and prioritizing how you spend your money, what you spend on money, potential changes of incomes, investments, and financial goals. All that is happening with this placement here. Now that Mars is going to be in that 12th house, the same night that Mars is, the moon is in the sign of Scorpio. Inner motivation, working on inner conflict, unconscious patterns. You may become more aware of past traumas and psychological issues. Emotional release happens with this. Pent up anger, releasing that. Spiritual quest. The 12th house is all about spirituality. So meditation, understanding your spiritual path, hidden strengths, because that 12th house is about what's hidden that might be revealed, especially with that Scorpio energy. Okay. Rest and retreat. This could be you could be energetically drained. So it's a good time for rest and recharging. Um, Working behind the scenes, releasing control, charitable actions. 12th house is very charitable with that Pisces energy, and dream exploitation. It's all about the dreams and how God talks to you, to us. Okay. That is what we have. Actually, too, I've been getting several things on that I need to write my dreams down. And look at that Mars in Scorpio. So let me pull some cards, some tarot for us. What do we have? It's all about learning and collaborating with others. We are dealing with Libra energy. Oh, it's that eclipse there. Yeah, so that eclipse is all about the people and collaborations. This is going to be, let's see what happens with this collaborations. Let's get a little bit more direct. We're going to have to take our time and pay attention to the details. And yeah, really slow energy, really slow energy when it comes to that collaboration or networking. Okay. Also, too, at the bottom of this eclipse here, not the eclipse of this deck, we have the five of Pentacles. This is very energy of feeling lack of resources here. And Mars in 12th house would make you feel lack because that 12th house energy is a little insecure. So work on that. Remember that God is always with you. There is abundance of resources for everyone, for the world. The sun is shining. God created you like you created the sun and the moon. So be aware of that. But remember also too that natural resources are always there. We always have the natural ability to achieve. Okay. And that is what we got for your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Scorpio risings. Let me pull up your chart. Now, what we have here, Scorpios, is your eclipse is in the 10th house, and it's all about your public life and careers, right? So it's about your identity, personal transformation, self-image, and let's see what we have here. All the arenas that could be dealing with is your reputation and popularity, spouse careers or your spouse reputation, because we're dealing with Libra, social status, prominent legal matters, contracts, real estate, ownership, your parents, your spouse's parents, life decisions, vocational choices, relocation choices, or marital decisions, because we're dealing with Libra, bosses, authorities, landlords, career relationships, public appearances, honors, and awards. That is what we have with that. Now, Pluto is in your first house. And you may be going through a personal transformation. Empowerment becomes a primary focus. You may undergo a profound shift in identity and self-identity images. Dealing with Capricorn, so there are some boundaries with this energy too. Seek to reclaim your personal power and make change in your life. Now, Mars enters Scorpio in your 11th house, right behind that eclipse there. And sexual tension within a friend group, conflict resolutions within a friend group, commitment to causes, being very intense with this energy too. Group activities are going to be very intensified. Technology and innovation. You may be finding some new or exploring some new technology and energetic networking. Okay, let me pull some cards for you guys. Capricorn risings, and let me know if this eclipse really affects you guys. We have some anxiety and worrying, so there is no need to have any anxiety and worrying. Losing sleep is what we have here. And then we have the King of Cups. Yeah, it's very emotional for you guys. This energy, the King of Cups, is very intuitive. So while you are sleeping, losing sleep, write down those dreams. That would be really good for you. Mars is entering Scorpio, and it looks like it's going to be intense. Very intense for you guys. So be aware of that, but you want to use your intuition. You want to be emotionally intelligent. Okay. You want to look at What is God telling you? Really tap into your spirituality. Also, if romance is big with you, go ahead, really go into that too, because this is also romantic. It's very compassionate. It's very nurturing. So embody and take in all that energy, romance, love, compassion, being nurturing, spirituality, intuition. Okay, tap into all that, and hopefully that can work with that anxiety. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Now we have my Aquarius placements. Welcome to your reading. Let me pull up your chart here. Now you have Mercury, not Mercury. Well, Mercury is there, but you have that eclipse in that 9th house, and it's could be dealing positive or negative with vacation, travel, international affairs, foreign relationships, travel with a spouse, because we're dealing with Libra, legal studies, art studies, family relations, relatives, speaking, public speaking, debates and arguments, ministry, religion, decisions about one's life road, educational associates, teaching relationships, the media, radio, foreign contracts, educational decisions and contracts, publishing, publishers, agents, the media, advertising, consulting, consultants, college, large scale of communications, even gurus could be a thing here. Okay, Aquarius risings. The 9th house is about philosophy and expansion. So higher knowledge, spirituality, and travel. Consider horizons on exploring your new beliefs and education, seeking personal growth and a greater understanding. Now that Mars enters Scorpio in that 10th house. So there is competitive edge, increased workload, assertive leadership. Mars can bring assertiveness. It can also bring conflicts, and it's touching that stage there too, is what I'm thinking. So be aware of that. You're on a stage, and you don't want to be assertive in that public life. Okay, you don't want to come off aggressive is the word that I don't want to use, but it's a word. But yeah, there's public image and success in achieving your goals. Everyone sees you doing it though. So you're trying to do it in secret with that Scorpio, but that Mars is on stage. Okay. Now, public Pluto goes direct in your 12th house, and it's about deep spiritual, psychological transformations. Deep in that 12th, okay? A desire of profound inner healing and self-discovery, confronting and releasing hidden fears and subconscious patterns. And remember, it's in the sign Scorpio, so there are some boundaries there. Let me see what we have here. And it's touching that ascendant. So somehow it's affecting your appearance. Now we have the Queen of Wands, and you want to be confident this week. You want to have the passion. You want to have the drive. You want to stay strong in your convictions. You want to say what you got to say and mean what you got to say. Okay. You want to have that fire. This is external energy. Do not keep it within. Also, we have the Six of Cups. This is all about giving. Looking into that past too, as well. Something very nostalgia, something from your past. Okay. Maybe that 12th house. I'm not sure, but something with your past, something nostalgic, looking in your past, something nostalgic is going to happen, and you have to stay strong and confident. Okay. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, Pisces risings. Welcome to your reading. Let me pull up your chart real quick. I hope you can hear me as well. Pisces is your eclipse is happening in that 8th house there. Here we go. Mars is right behind it in the 9th, and then you have that Pluto in the 10th house, and that was station. It will go direct, right? So this eclipse is all about transformation and intimacy. Be aware of that. And then you have it close to that Mercury. Okay, so it's all about transformation. It's major energy. Major energy. It's just doubled up. The eclipse is all about eclipsing. And then you have it in the house of transformation. Okay, so it could be, it's very intense energy emotionally, When you have that moon getting there, there's deep psychological growth that could be arising. Letting go of what no longer serves you can happen here as well. Okay. So psychologically, okay, first let me say some ups and downs that could happen with this eclipse, right? There's some surges or out stages, some releasing that's going to happen in the following part, in arenas of life of transformation, right? So psychological counseling, sex, discussions about sex, couple counselings, genetics, psychic experiences, crisis, death, or transformation of other people, spouse's money, the money of others, financial commitments or contracts, balancing financial accounts, having debt, alimony, debt payments, atonements, couples counseling, obligations to others, spouses, crisis, messages from deceased loved ones, because that house represents some death. Okay. Spirits, realizing the truth, deep intimacy, legal decisions regarding shared resources, alimony, debts, depths, DEPTS. I say it wrong. Your debt. Loans or inheritances. Okay. Also, possible arenas include important discussions with financial advisors, financial, legal, or medical advice, or a diagnosis. Okay. And remember what I said earlier about all the health issues. So pay attention to any imbalances with those things. Okay, so that is what we got for my Pisces. Far as the eclipse, and it gets very intense for you guys, but that's okay. You guys can handle it. That is what we have for the 8th house. Yes. Okay, now we have Mars entering your 9th house here, and you may pursue your beliefs and passions with great enthusiasm. It's all about being very adventurous, traveling, higher education. Because be cautious of not being too dogmatic or fixated on one ideology. Legal matters could happen here. You may find yourself increased physical energy with this transit. Now, Pluto here is going direct in 11th house. So you've had some transformation and power dynamics in your social circles or group affiliations. A desire to align and be authentic aspirations and causes could be happening because you're dealing with humanitarian energy. Potential changes in your involvement in social or community activities. And that is what you guys get. Let me pull some tarot cards for all my Pisces. I hope you guys enjoyed this whole video of the eclipse and learned a lot. Yes. And Pisces, let me know if you want a one-on-one reading. We have the Hierophant. This is all about sticking to your values and your traditional beliefs, right? So stick to what you traditionally believe. We have this card is in the upright. It's abundant. It's like the end of a journey, infinite possibilities in the beginning of it. And I wonder if this is an internal journey that you are going on, because it's in reverse. This is at the bottom of your deck. So it makes me think of this eclipse here. So be aware of that. Now, that 8th house placement could feel a little insecure because you're dealing with water energy. But usually this is abundance in family, abundance in love. Oh, I'm so grateful for all the things that I have, right? This could be some inner work, or it could be the halting of. Okay. There's some type of transformation happening for you guys. Okay. Let me pull the top deck card, and it's all about holding and securing a bag, holding on to your resources for you guys. And let me pull the last card, and you could be having to make a decision between some things here, Pisces. Okay. There's rough waters, so it's very emotional, which makes sense because you are a Pisces rising and you're dealing with that 8th house eclipse. And I gave you that long list of some psychological things that are happening here. And I really believe there's some internal issues going on. But remember what the eclipse is about. It's eclipsing something out of your life because you are not really focused on your true calling in life. So God wants to redirect you to get to your true calling. So remember the inner goal, the end goal. Anytime you're dealing with 8th house energy, Pluto, Scorpio, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but you have to get to the tunnel to get to the light. Okay. Yes, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this resonated. Yes, and let me know if you have any questions. I will see you guys next time. Bye.